उमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So here we are seeing the entire episode has taken another twist. Till now we heard in the pages of the Bhagavatam the story of Daksha and Lord Shiva unfolding. After Daksha entered the assembly of all the great sages, of all the devatas who had assembled there, everyone stood up to show respect to Daksha as a Prajapati. He was very effulgent, very royal, and with all, Daksha means expert. So he has entered and he observed Lord Shiva did not get up from his seat, neither he spoke anything pleasingly to receive Daksha. So this was taken as an insult by Daksha. Though Lord Shiva did not mean it, but Daksha, because of his previous enviousness towards Lord Shiva, he immediately came to some judgments and he curses Lord Shiva that he should not get share of the sacrificial performances conducted by great sages. And he spoke very much offensive against Lord Shiva. After hearing all these things, did Lord Shiva retaliate? No. As a great Vaishnava, any offense, any dishonor committed against his own self, he did not retaliate. He did not speak anything. He just sat silent there. But one of Lord Shiva's principal associate, Nandishwara, he couldn't tolerate this. His master, Lord Shiva, is being offended. Such derogatory comments have been passed against him and he has been cursed without any proper reason. So this made Nandishwara very angry. How much anger? It is mentioned here in today's verse. Nandishwaro rosha kashaya doshitaha. Rosha meaning anger, and how much anger means kashaya doshitaha. Kashaya means red. Shri Krishna Balaram Eki. His eyes had become red. Nandishwara, he had become so angry against Daksha, who had offended Lord Shiva. And what did he do? Vignyaya Shapam Girishanu Gagranir. Girisha Anuga Agrani. Girisha means Lord Shiva. Anuga means followers of Lord Shiva. Agrani means the best of all, the best of his followers. So Nandishwara is considered to be the foremost of all of the followers of Lord Shiva. Vignyaya Shapam. So after Nandishwara could understand what's happening there, that Lord Shiva, his master, is being offended unnecessarily with such derogatory comments, he, after understanding this, Nandishwaro Roshakashaya Dushitaha, he became blinded with intense anger. His eyes became red. Shaya Shapam Visasarja Darunam. In retaliation, what did Nandishwara do? He also counter-cursed. Whom did he curse? Dakshaya, unto Daksha. And he did not stop there. What did he do? Yecha anvamodams tad avachatam dvijaha. All the dvijas, the brahmanas who were present there, who had tolerated Lord Shiva's being cursed by Daksha. Because this is the rule. We should not tolerate or express our dissatisfaction if the Supreme Lord or his devotees are being offended. But in that assembly, Nandishwara saw that few of them had, whatever, in the purport Prabhupada gives the details, had anvamodamscha, meaning they had tolerated Daksha cursing Lord Shiva. So Nandishwara became angry upon those Brahmanas also. So Nandishwara started cursing Daksha and other Brahmanas also. So this is what we see here. So if we consider like Nandishwara's action, yes, it is accepted. Just like it is said, when Vishnu or a Vaishnava is blasphemed or dishonored, one should be very angry. Because this emotion of anger, we are all living entities, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. We are not dull matter. Living entity, the spirit soul, has got emotions, desire, emotions, it may be anger, everything is there. But everything should be centered around the Supreme Lord. If it doesn't happen in that way, if the desire, anger, everything is self-centered, then it will be falling under the category of mode of passion, and the result will be very much disastrous. So here, Nandishwara getting angry is justified because his master, Lord Shiva, one of the greatest Vaishnava, he is being offended now. So he couldn't tolerate that and he has become angry. So this is accepted. But to what extent that anger, like say, made him act, there our Acharyas, Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas commentary, we should understand how Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport. Of course, as a follower, it was right for him not to tolerate an insult to his master, but he should not have cursed the Brahmanas who were present. So this is the conclusion we can see of Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. This is what Srila Prabhupada has mentioned in this purport. Yes, Nandishwara is justified in cursing or whatever, going against Daksha because of his offense. But out of his intense anger, he went ahead cursing the other Brahmanas present there. So this is not it's not accepted. So these are all very sensitive matters, issues we are seeing here. Anger is required. Anger, if it is meant for, like say, okay, let me put it in this way. Anger is, we should not become victim of anger, but we can use anger in the service of the Lord. We should not be victimized by anger. Victimized means what? When will anger come? Just like in Bhagavad Gita we have heard, Sangat sanjayate kamaha, kamat krodho vijayate. So this krodha, anger, the root cause is kama or desire. Desire for sense gratification or self-centered desire. If the desire is not fulfilled, there will be anger. It may come out in a gross way or subtly also, varieties of ways a person acts upon it. So, if this is the case, then the result will be disastrous. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibrama, smriti bramshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. There will be a fall down. On the other hand, if the anger is directed against the offenders who have offended the Supreme Lord or his devotees, then it is accepted. Just like the examples also earlier purports we have seen, the way Arjuna went and fought against the opponents. Arjuna is also one of the greatest Vaishnava, a devotee of the Lord. But in any of the paintings you see of Arjuna, we never see him chanting with a chanting bead in the temple hall. No. We see him carrying a bow and arrow and fighting and killing. So that was his service. As a service he has done it. So anger is required. Likewise Hanuman going and setting fire in Lanka. So these things are accepted. So anger should be used by us when required. We should not become victims of anger. It's just like, let me give an example of a thread. There is a rope. What if the ropes have tied our hands? Then we have become a victim of that rope. Correct? We can't exercise our freedom, free will, how to use that rope, because the rope has tied our hands. On the other hand, if our hands are not tied by the rope, we can use that rope to tie others or do whatever, use it in varieties of ways. But the same rope can bind us also. Another example of the sharp knife. A sharp knife can cut our own hands if it is not handled properly. On the other hand, if it is handled properly, it can be used for varieties of constructive purposes. So likewise, anger also. If anger is preceded by kama or desire for sense gratification, then anger, what will follow is mode of passion. The mode of passion Nectar in the beginning, poison in the end. So this will be the result. So that's why we should be careful that anger is not preceded by kama, some desire for sense gratification or self-centered desire. If it is preceded by, if it is centered around, or if it is used as a service to the Lord, then it is accepted by authorities. Otherwise, no. And as a devotee, getting angry is not justified. We should control our anger. So this is one point. Another point Srila Prabhupada makes in the purport, that there is a long-standing dissension among two sets of people. Who are they? Shaivites and Vaishnavites. So there are few people, transcendentalists, who like Vaishnavas, the followers or devotees of Lord Vishnu, and there are many others also who proclaim themselves to be followers or devotees of Lord Shiva. And both these parties are at loggerheads. What I am following is supreme. No, what you are following is not correct. This tussle from long before, it is there. From the time of Daksha, it is there. Because like all the Brahmanas, of course, see, Brahmanas means they are supposed to be Shama, Dama, Shaucha, cleanliness, all purity, all these things are there. There may be some immature Brahmanas who are not so qualified, who are not very much in knowledge. They may think that, like say, they're all with all kinds of like highest purity standards, looking at Lord Shiva, they may feel, Lord Shiva is unclean, he lives in crematorium, ashes around his body, wears the garland of skulls and bones and unclean, all his associates are ghosts and hobgoblins and spirits. So some Brahmanas may not like Lord Shiva. This is as a result of their lack of knowledge of the supremacy of Lord Shiva. Without knowing Lord Shiva's true position as the greatest of the Vaishnavas, some immature Brahmanas may accuse Lord Shiva, may not like Lord Shiva. Such immature Brahmanas may pass such derogatory comments against Lord Shiva also. And in this case we see, maybe in that as Lord Daksha, there were such immature Brahmanas also who took pleasure in Daksha cursing Lord Shiva. So usually sometimes it happens, right? We don't like one person and he is being beaten up nicely, and it gives us little pleasure. We take happiness there. Someone whom we don't like and he is being beaten nicely or punished nicely, and we feel elated or we take pleasure in that. So such Brahmanas would have been present in the assembly there of Daksha, who have taken pleasure. Prabhupada mentions here, when Daksha cursed Lord Shiva in harsh words, some of the Brahmanas present might have enjoyed it, because some Brahmanas do not very much admire Lord Shiva. This is due to their ignorance of Lord Shiva's position. So is it clear? So some such Brahmanas would have been present there and they would have enjoyed Daksha cursing Lord Shiva. And this is being observed by Nandishwara, and he has become so angry against Daksha and all such Brahmanas present there, and he has started to curse them all. Now, in just few, previous verses we had read how, just in the previous verse, Nishidyamanaha sa sadasair mukhyair. Actually, there were many other Brahmanas and leaders who were present there who tried to stop Daksha from cursing Lord Shiva. What does it show? It's not that all the Brahmanas took pleasure in Daksha cursing Lord Shiva. No, they were not tolerant of that. They tried to stop Daksha from cursing. And Daksha, after cursing, immediately left the palace, left the assembly hall, went away, and they tried to stop him. No, don't go away, please stop. But Daksha did not listen to them. So it's a very complex situation which has arisen out of anger. Now Daksha, one of the greatest of offenses he has committed now by cursing Lord Shiva. And now his associate Nandishwara, he became very angry and he has cursed Daksha, and he did not stop there but went ahead to curse all the Brahmanas present there. So we see here Prabhupada writing, thus cursing and counter cursing went on in that great assembly. In other words, the material field is so unsteady that even personalities like Nandishwara, Daksha and many other Brahmanas present were infected by the atmosphere of anger. See, Daksha is not an ordinary person. He is a great Prajapati. Nandishwara is not an ordinary person, a very great follower of Lord Shiva. And all the Brahmanas present, they are all qualified people. But the atmosphere of anger has polluted them all. They are unable to act based on due deliberation, applying their intelligence. The situation has gone so much away, has become so worst that we'll be seeing the later part of this chapter how it has led to a disastrous condition. So how much we should be careful in regulating ourselves not to become a victim of anger, unwarranted anger. So here we need to remember that Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just one verse I'll read from the Srimad Bhagavatam, the instructions given by Narada Muni to Vyasadeva. Narada Muni says, Yamadibhir yogapatai kama loba hato muhuho mukunda sevaya yadvat tathatmadha na shamyati. The translation goes like this: it is true that by practicing restraint of the senses by the yoga system, one can get relief from the disturbances of desire and lust. But this is not sufficient to give satisfaction to the soul, for this satisfaction is derived from devotional service to the personality of Godhead. Various transcendentalists, spiritualists, they take shelter of performance of various kinds of yoga. It may be yoga asanas, pranayama, traveling up to the stage of samadhi and many other things. But none of these things, okay, it may help them to control their lusty desires, all of those, whatever, the lust, anger, greed, pride and all, to some extent only. It won't give the satisfaction what the spirit soul is expecting, which is possible only by performance of devotional service to the Supreme Lord. It's only by performing devotional service to the Supreme Lord that the soul is satisfied. If it is not in satisfied condition, material desires. If the desires are not fulfilled, anger. If the desires are fulfilled, we won't stop there, we want more of such things. Greed. We become illusioned. Another person has got that, I have not got. We become envious. And we have something more than the other person, we become proud. It's a big mess what we create for ourselves. So, our focus should be on rendering loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord, which satisfies the soul. That alone can guarantee us not to become a victim of material desires and its concomitant, whatever, anger, greed and such things. So that's the only way. Any other way we take up to control our desires, anger and other such things, it may not be fruitful, it may not be successful. The only way recommended in the Bhagavatam, approved by great acharyas, is to take shelter of devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So if this doesn't happen, even such great personalities like Daksha, Nandishwara and all Brahmanas, they have become victims of anger. What to speak of us? So the only shelter is to render pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord, and by the Lord's shelter, through His mercy, we can overcome such unwanted things. So let us conclude here. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki,